What it do? We back at it again, man. You know what it is. It's your boy, the voice of the culture. I'm back with another very exciting episode today. And this person I'm sitting next to me, she's like the Angie Marr of the podcast. She's the Oprah Winfrey of the podcast. She's inspiring. She's uplifting. She's innovating. She's motivating. But she's also all for the culture. And I'm actually so blessed to have you sitting next to me right now.
Thank you.
My girl Stephanie, a.k.a. I'm going to let her introduce her podcast herself. But this is Steph, the game changer, the Oprah Winfrey of the podcast, Angie Marr of the game right now. Welcome to the round table.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I am so excited to be here, everybody. Like, I'm excited. Thank you for having me here. Like, I feel like everything is about timing. You know, and I feel as though that, you know, we've had trials and tribulations and now we're here today. Right. Perfect timing.
The blessing.
It's just everything is impeccable timing. Thank you for having me.
Oh, man, why wouldn't I? It's only right. I mean, I bumped into you, you know what I mean, on Instagram. I'm going to just, be honest to the culture and let them understand it's okay. Mm-hmm. I bumped into her. I saw what she was doing. I pressed the follow just because, hey, she's doing her thing. She's consistent. She's busy. She's active. And you know what? She's really for the culture. I don't feel like, you was trying to rob the culture or just be down. It was like so authentic and fire. I said, yo, I got to start paying attention. That's what I've been doing ever since. And here we are. You're sitting next to me and I'm blessed. And I thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, I feel like we're fans of each other.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate you.
I appreciate your work. Thank you for having me. Having a platform, starting a platform. Let's just start there. Starting any platform is not easy. I had to endure a lot of people that I knew laughing at me. You know what I'm saying? People telling me my little podcast.
I had that. I like your little pod, and my thing is, why has it got to be little? Why can't you just like the podcast? Mm-hmm. Why does it have to be little?
And it's not little at all, but it has.
Exactly.
It was little.
It wasn't, because anything that you start is growing. So why can't you say how the podcast is going? Why we got to be little? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You ain't saying that to Nori and them. You ain't saying that to Nori. Yo, Nori, I like your little drink champs.
And it's crazy because I was podcasting before that show even dropped.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right. See what I'm saying?
So it's just crazy. But thank you. I'm excited to be here. I definitely try on my show. I definitely try to make everybody aware that my platform is all inclusive. You don't necessarily have to just do music to be on the Sabrosa Podcast. I try to involve as well, like business owners and entrepreneurs and producers and people that are just around the culture in general. And people that are definitely up and coming, I definitely root for the underdog.
Always. Always. Because we the underdogs.
Right, because we the underdog.
It.
Exactly. So we understand it. And we have to put a lot of grind. And I feel sometimes people don't understand that us as media, we do have a responsibility. And sometimes we have to we have to get certain perspectives because it's just for the greater good. It's not nothing personal. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So I feel like we do have a responsibility, but on my specific platform, I just try to push positivity. Definitely try to showcase everybody's talent, promote their music, promote what they got going on, tell them about themselves. Because when we're in these spaces, people just see the videos that we post up. You feel me? They just see the end result. They don't see the phone calls, the DMs, the gas that's wasted, the research, the long hours. They don't see none of that.
Phone calls.
All the stuff that we have to go through just as creators in general, not even podcasters, because at the end of the day, like, we're just so much more than that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like there's social skills that are involved. There's organization skills that are involved. There's so many moving parts. There's a video man, there's an audio man, there's, the editor, there's the podcaster, there's the guest, there's the, the concept. There's
you putting all this together too, trying to get a location.
Who's putting location, who's putting all of this stuff together.
Timing.
And time. And what can we get back?
We don't get time back. We don't ever, no one has ever told me they got time back.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm I just come from a space where my time is not to be wasted. You feel me? And definitely, I feel like you feel me on that. And you wanna put forth people that are taking themselves serious too.
But the most important thing for me is this with it all. You know what I mean? And just be able to communicate.
Well, communication is key. Come on now.
But you don't have a lot of individuals that know how to communicate.
Right.
Or feel like I'm hurting your feelings if I tell you something. For me, I'd rather you just say, hey, listen, not right now, I'm busy. Mm-hmm. I respect that. Then you just, yo, I got you. We'll talk. Mm-hmm. Yo, I'm gonna hit you on this day. People don't see all that.
No.
I'm not beef for all that. At the end of the day, we're still individuals. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And we know when, just because you're a female, you're very aware of the bullshit when you see it a mile away. You're not slow. No. So you already know, come on. You know what I mean? So that's why, having someone that understands the game, being able to be a part of that game with them is very key to me. So that's why it was so important for me to really just have an opportunity to pick your brain, because I want to know where did it all start from for you.
Wow, where did it all start? Okay. Wow, we're going to go back. Yeah. Okay, so.
Because and I say this to say, you remind me of the movie, I might be getting the name wrong. I think it's Brown Sugar. And at the beginning of the thing, Sanaa later said, when did you fall in love with hip hop? Yeah. When I see you, you take me back to that moment, because I feel like it was a moment where you fell in love with that.
Yeah.
Take us back to that moment and say, yo, I want to be a part of this.
Yeah. So, I mean, the moment that I fell in love with hip hop and just like the culture in general was, I was young. I was in Harlem specifically. One of my favorite aunts, Tia Vera, shout out to Tia Vera, shout out to my cousin Gabe, my cousin Sylvia, and my cousin. I'm Dominican.
Okay.
Shout out to my cousins. So I was at my aunt's crib in Spanish Harlem.
Okay.
She lived on Amsterdam Avenue, like on 130 something. So I remember I was out there. I was young. I was like 11, 10, something like that. I was young. And I remember being outside and just hearing Big L. I just hear Ebonics just playing over and over and over, like somebody blasting just Big L. I'm like, yo, what's that? Like, what is that? Like, what is that? Whatever. Long story short, back then there was like LimeWire and like all that. Like I don't even know what there was, but there was like CDs and stuff. So they ended up obtaining it, my cousins. And I remember I just started listening to Big L. And I started listening to Big L over and over again. Then I found out Big L, early like freestyles from Jay-Z, early KRS-One. I remember it was KRS-One, Big L, and Jay-Z at first for me. Like, I was like, yo. And then I just started hearing mad Hot 97, like radio stations. Like, I remember I was just hearing radio stations, looking at interviews, looking at concerts, looking at old Biggie concerts. Yeah, I was just looking at I started looking up like old Biggie concerts and like stuff like that. And I was just like, by this time I was already like in middle school, and I was just listening to then that's when Lil Wayne.
Okay.
So then Wheezy and all of that for me, like I was just big on the Wheezy and heavy on New York, like Max B and like all that shit. So then I was always intrigued with Wendy Williams.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite journalists, like media people, because I always overlooked her gossip. I looked more into her skill.
Okay, and I respect that.
Right, so everybody hated her, but I'm like, yo, why does everybody hate her? So I started studying her.
There's got to be a reason.
So when I started seeing and I started studying her, I started studying Angie Martinez. I started studying the guy Stern.
Howard Stern.
Yeah, Howard Stern. And
I watched his show quite a few times.
Yeah, too. So I start, you had Miss Jones in the Morning, you had Steph Lover, you had all these people. I'm listening to them religiously for years and years and years. And then long story short, I moved to a city called Hilden. And I was like, yo, I had two roommates.
Right around Patterson.
Yeah. Okay. So I had two roommates at the time. And I remember I obtained my first MacBook in this house. So I was like, yo, I know I wanted to do something along the lines of like some type of radio. I wanted to be like journalism, something. Yeah, I wanted
an artist.
Yeah.
You wanted to be more like the behind the scenes person that did the
right.
homework.
So I was trying to get like an internship at a radio station at this time. So I remember just looking it up, and I started looking up like different ways to get, just my thoughts out there. Because I always felt like I always had good ass conversations with my friends. I always felt like we had some deep conversations, some real stuff that was happening in life, and I always had a good communication. Like with when
also, you had a good ear,
good listener, talking to people, listening. So I'm like, I want to get like my thoughts out there of just current events, just what's going on. But I didn't even think about becoming a YouTuber. But then I made a YouTube channel in 2008. I made a YouTube channel. I was like, fuck it. I post my friends on there. I try to get my friends to do. If I would have started in 2000, this is why you can't let nobody tell you to not do nothing. Because in 2008, if I would have started posting on YouTube in 2008, listen, man. We'll be having a totally different conversation right now.
You had the vision.
Right. So I started posting like little house parties that we was doing and all that stuff. So that's kind of like my start of the content creation journey. Like 2008, 2010, I got back into it. Then 2007, I took a break.
But let's go back. Let's hold that for a minute. What made you not? You said never always follow your dreams. So we ain't got to tell names, but what was that conversation?
So I started hanging out with a group of girls that they were like more into partying than like, which me too, we were young. We were just all partying, having a good time.
Your thing was what's going on behind the scenes. That's who you were.
Right. So I was just trying to document the crazy ass life that we were literally living at the moment. Right. It was mad fun. We had a crazy ass summer. We'd go to mad house parties. We'll go to New York. We'll go here. We'll go to Patterson. We'll go there. And it was fun. We were like, it was just a fun summer. So I wanted to document it because, hello, that was ahead of its time. That's vlogging now.
That's what Ye was doing.
So I'm over here trying to, what did I have? What phone did I have? Oh my God. It was maybe a Sidekick LX or some shit like that. I probably, I don't know if I have those SD cards, but that's a conversation for another day. But I was recording. I would remember we would be in the car. I had a camera. I bought a camera. And I have all these recordings. If I go to my photo bucket, you remember that, like, it's like an old website. It's called Photo Bucket. I have all that stuff in there. So it's like I was just recording our life at that time. And that's kind of what sparked the journey for me, that I have to do something creatively for me to
put out in the world. Because
I need to, that is what's going to live beyond me.
So you feel like that's your legacy.
Right. Because my father would always talk to me about like, oh, you got to have kids because that's your legacy. But I always looked at it like, I don't got to have kids. I just have to create something to live beyond me that's bigger than me.
But it really is your kid. It's just not your physical kid.
Exactly. So fast forward now. Yeah, that is my kid. I don't play about my podcast. So, I was in that house. Fast forward to 2017. I was just working a lot and stuff throughout those years. And I just kind of lost contact with those girls. I just wasn't talking to anybody, just doing my own thing. So 2017 came. I got a roommate. And I remember I was in the crib and I was on the couch. We had just got a couch. And I remember sitting on this comfy ass couch. And I sat down and I had the laptop in my hand. And I was like, yo, I found this website. It's called Anchor FM. And I could make a podcast. And I could record it from my phone and send it and email it to my computer and I could upload it. And she was like, yo, do it. Like, she supported me. So I was like, yo, fuck it. And I remember like for 2 days, and I did not leave that couch. Yo, for 2 fucking days, I was on that couch. I remember like 2 days, I left to work and everything, but I came back to that couch.
Right.
And I was just thinking about what's going to be the name of my podcast. Cause I just discovered that podcasting is a thing, because I wanted to first make an internet radio station, right?
Okay.
But then I said, I need something more intimate, something more impactful, something more like that.
With you being a part of it.
Right. So
I'm radio station, you just kind of not really.
Right. And I was.
Music is going to take it where it's going to go.
Yeah. I love music. That's where this all stemmed from. I love music, but also, I do love the power of conversation and the power of storytelling and the way that we could all learn from each other's perspectives, right? So that's kind of where I was coming from. I was like, nah, I need to talk to more people, right? So she supported my idea. And then I was like, I want to name it something. It has to have a Spanish name in it because I always had this vision. Like when I go global, I want people to know like that's like something Latinos in it because of the name, right? I don't want to lose that in my identity.
Essence. You don't want to lose that. That's your essence.
Because my first language was Spanish.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, I can't lose that. So I was like, yo, what's spicy? What's different? What name? Whatever. And I just started, I go to thesaurus.com and I put spicy. Mad things come out. The mad stuff comes out. And I'm like, tasty. I don't know. I wanted something like different. Like, I don't know. And then I saw mad Spanish words, like thesaurus in Spanish. And then I'm like, Sabroso. Like I thought myself, I'm like, Sabrosa Podcast. And I look it up. And I'm like, no, I'm not a guy. And I'm like, Sabrosa. And then like, yo, I looked it up. No podcast that name. I'm like, bet. That's it. And then that's it. That's how it was born. And then I just started recording out of my phone with my friends. And we would just talk about current events, things that were going on at the time, people that were dating people. It was more like a female perspective podcast at the beginning. If you go into my Spotify account, you'll find all the old
footage.
All the old stuff. Yeah, it's all there, all the old pods. And yeah, that's how it started.
Now, I'm going to piggyback off something that was said earlier. I don't think people really understand. The fact that your girlfriend said, go do it, compared to don't do it. We always are attacked in that way. It's either one, it's the angel and it's the curse. It's that one person. And it's funny how we can be swayed in either direction. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But the first time, your direction said, nah, I ain't going to do it. But the second time goes back to God's timing. It was time for you to do it. Because the outlets in different areas of the game in the world have changed now. You can download, you can do certain things. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it was all about the timing. That's why I said we have to piggyback. Yep. So now you're in this place, you're in this element. We're going to talk about your logo. Shout out to the brother Ja.
Shout out to Ja's, my brother. Thank you.
We're going to tell you a small story about that real quick. I just literally asked her before we recorded this. And I said, yo, who did your logo? And she said, Ja. Yo, the world takes you in different places, but God is always good and he's powerful. And I'm blessed and we thankful to have you, bro. Because I had you on my show and you did her logo. And
I'm so grateful for you, Ja. Like, yo, bro.
People don't even get the realism of life.
And he doesn't, and I always tell Ja, which now I'm gonna tell you right now on this part right here with Shamik on the Round Table Podcast. You go get the exclusive, Ja, in the video, bro. You don't understand, bro. Like you just doing that logo for me so early on, it just put a battery in my back, bro. That shit put a battery in me. Cause I felt like when I was doing the logo with you, you believed in me. So that made me feel like I could bring that shit to life. Like I felt like once I had that shit, it was go time. That's how I felt. So thank you.
I ain't gonna hold you on that. Nah, you good. You good. It's the pen. I'm not gonna hold you to that. That shit is fire. What he did to that, he bodied that.
Killed it.
And this is one of our local brothers. Matter of fact, go run and check out the episode. Me and him just shot. Go to the page. It's up there.
Check that out, y'all.
This is definitely a clip. So we got to drop this for Ja because this just goes back to how small the world is when great minds come together.
Right. And we could do more things together than apart. That's how I am.
And that's why I had to have you here because I needed to be a part of what you were doing. And when I said that, I said it people don't understand. Oh, you said you need. Yeah, I need to be a part of what people's doing when they're doing great things. I watch your consistency. I watch your work. I watch how you're not afraid to, this is who I am, this is what I am. You're not running from anything. You're not ducking. It's not a facade. No. Ever since the first time I watched you to the time that I met you, you've been the same exact person.
I am.
And that's unique in this game.
Thank you.
Because it could be used in another way. You could be on some shithole shit. And I say all this to say because you and I both know the trials and tribulations that's behind this.
Yes.
The gassed up conversations.
A lot of politics.
A lot of hype. One man band. It's just me, My man, he's a million miles away. We come up with ideas. And luckily, my camera guy who's been running, and I'm grateful for him.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, you're the one at the ground. I got to ask you this, that I ask everybody. How many times have you quit? How many times have you dropped that baton?
Quit. Wow. I have definitely, I call it a hiatus.
We all go on hiatus. Hiatus happen. I'm saying quit, saying F this shit. I'm not doing it.
Okay. Wow, since I started.
You've been doing it longer than me.
Honestly.
I'm 3 years.
Yeah, I'm 7 years in.
Created a lot of great contact too.
Thank you so much. I have so many things that coming soon, y'all. Coming soon. I got them in the vault.
You should do a documentary too.
Yeah, I definitely should. I have a lot of stuff that's really old, like 2008, like old. Like I still got those SD cards. Anyway, long story short, I have quit. I have wanted to quit, but I can't say that I've ever said. I have said F it. I have said F it. I have said F it.
Fuck it.
But as far as say that I'm not potting,
and you woke up the next day and
once. To be completely honest with you, that was done. I was like, yo, that's it. I put my laptop in storage. I was put my hard drives in storage, got about all my SDs from years and years and just put everything away and was like, yo, I'm taking, I'm done. I'm not doing it. One time that I was dead ass serious. I was like, yo, I'm not doing this no more. And then I woke up the next day and I just went through that day and I felt weird because this has been a part of my life every day. I wake up, I see what's going on. I have DMs, my people, I dropped this, I dropped that, I bet, boom, repost. I have things to do, you get me? So I'm just used to this and I'm not even logged into no socials or nothing. I'm just left there. I just didn't, I was just kind of 2-3 days goes by, maybe 2 weeks goes by, I haven't posted nothing, just left everything on idle. And then I got a text message from one of my friends. And he was like, yo, I'm dropping this project. I want you to pull up to the studio, whatever. And I pulled up. And it kind of
gave you that energy back.
It gave me that energy back. Sometimes people don't understand, we need each other, And it gave me that inspiration.
Without even being said.
Right, him
telling you to pull up.
Right, him recording his project, right. It made me feel okay, I need to take care of my business too because my friend's inspiring me, and I feel we have to do that to each other sometimes. And sometimes we don't know what other people are going through. I was going through fuck this. I don't want to be a podcaster no more. Everybody's I was just feeling everybody wants a podcast and people don't even know, the work that it takes. And it's everybody just wants to ask me a million questions and I'm willing to help, but it's just motherfuckers just want to assassinate my character or just take. And it's just yo, I'm on some shit, we could grow together. And I was just kind of over it,
Right. It became a little bit overwhelming.
It just got very overwhelming. And I was just yo, I'm good, bro. I don't even want to deal with nobody. I was just on that energy.
Now imagine all that's taking place in your life at the moment. And you're not getting $1 for it.
Right. And we're doing it because we love it.
So imagine once the corporations and the big bucks get behind it, what comes with it. And me and my partner talk about that. Yo, this. If we're going through this right now, imagine when it hits.
Imagine.
When it hits. You think this assassination is going on. Imagine.
When you got a whole itinerary of artists, once corporate come in, you're just doing what you're told. Right. And it's not, that's the whole thing. Is it fun anymore?
And that's the part that I wanted to get to with you because we both striving to get there, but you being in the game longer than me. You still fighting. I'm not even gonna say you fighting. You still rocking because you still on your grind. Now I don't know what might have came or what might have happened or what deals might have been taking place. I don't know that. Right. But from what I see, it's just I'm still running. But I also know that that run that you're running on right now, that's not where the run was once at. See, I know growth when I see it.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel you got a balance point And you still, it's just balance points that you're getting at. Okay, I'm at this balance point. Then I'm going to get to this balance point.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes me ask you this. When you're having your guests on your show, you got to look, do you look at them like you look at yourself? Because I do.
Yeah, I definitely, when I'm doing my research, I definitely look for things that I identify with personally.
Right.
And then I kind of go off that because we go based off our perspectives of said guest, right? And we go based off what we know, what we see, but also what we identify with. Like, because I like to really go back to the beginning. I really go back. I go back to their first song. And I go and I listen. And I listen to the first tape. And I listen to the second tape. And I listen to the third tape. And I listen to the fourth tape. And I listen to the fifth tape. And I I listen to your journey throughout. And I pay attention to what you're talking about. And I pick whatever,
moves you.
Whatever moves me, I've had people on my show that there's been songs that they've written about breakups that I've identified with. There's people that have written songs about overcoming fake friends or overcoming bad situations in their life or overcoming obstacles that I've discussed on my show. So it's just what I feel that I personally identify with, and then also what I feel like other people will also appreciate, because I like to see them as people, because sometimes the artists, you want some more? Got you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So I feel as though we have to humanize our guests, because sometimes they're just seen as figures. They're just seen as the end result. They're just seen as what they're putting out. And I like to kind of break it down and I, see
rebuild
what right. And break it down all the way, like break it down and see where they have, what has gotten them to this point, the journey, because we forget about the process. Sometimes we just want to get, like, we're grinding right now, right? We want to get to those distribution deals. We want to get to those podcast deals. We want to get to those ad deals. We want to get to those monetization deals. We want to get to all that stuff, right? But sometimes tomorrow you could wake up and get a call and be like, yo, I want, get an email. Any day we could wake up and get an email and our life will change, right? Yeah. But so it's nowadays, it's like you're here and then you can go over there like in a day. I'm blinking my eye. So sometimes when we go over here,
they go there in 10 years.
And but then we forget about the journey, and that's the process. Sometimes is the best part.
I got a saying that I learned from my father: without no struggle, there's no progress.
Exactly, and we have to appreciate our lows we have to go through our lows to appreciate our higher moments, our successful moments. Because without no lows, there's not going to be no highs. Because like if you're always on the top, you're not going to appreciate it unless you go through something and then you're like, yo, that could never happen to me again. So I've been through some situations like that. I'm like, yo, like that's why I feel like I got to go harder, because now we're at the space where we're already putting our content out there. We're already doing our due diligence. We're trying our hardest, right? But we also have a responsibility now.
I completely understand you on that.
Right. And it's like, we're not out here like doing cloudy content, because I could go tomorrow and do an interview. I could do a couple interviews that will make me go viral. But I'm just in the business of preaching positivity and doing good things and doing good. Like, yo, bro, like I'm not on the clout shit.
You never have, from what I've seen.
You feel me? I'm not on the clout shit at all.
I've never really ever grasped that from you. I never even grasped no hype from you. Always did. I felt like everything was just so
copacetic. I'm chilling.
Yo, listen, this is what it is. It's nothing. It's not fake. I'm not doing. Even when you do your posts, You know what I'm saying? When you was walking through the town, he was like, yo, let your brand be known everywhere you go.
Yo, thank you for bringing that up.
Yo, my man, you know, it's crazy because me and my partner, we have those conversations. And to see you do it, it's like, damn, I'm not the only motherfucker out here just bugging.
Right, because you gotta go. Sometimes we feel like, oh, yo, like,
I'm too cool to do that shit.
Yeah, like, oh, I want, yo, sometimes you gotta move to a new city. You gotta go in the bodega and be like, yo, I gotta tape out. Let's say you're an artist. Be like, yo, in my case, I got a podcast. I'll walk you through that day. So I needed to go to the vape shop. I was like, yo, I gotta go to the vape shop. I look it up on Google. I was like, all right, cool. This. I was like, they open till midnight. All right, cool. One of my friends had told me about that spot that they was cool. Okay. So I was like, all right, cool. This seems, because he's a jeweler. Okay. Shout out to Bevy.
All right.
My boy told me, he was like, yo, that spot right there, they cool. So I was like, all right, cool. So I go, and before I park my car, I was like, yo, this is a new place, a new city, a new vape shop, and I'm always going to, anytime I move to, that's like, I'm always cool with them, right? So I was like, yo, I'm a document this, because this is probably something that people are afraid to do, and I do all the time. And I never record it because, I don't know, it's just something I do, right?
Right.
So I was like, all right, fuck it. So I was like, I was feeling inspired this day. So I was like, I parked the car, I hop out the car, and that's when I did the video. I was like, all right, hey, y'all, I'm in a new city. I just moved to a new city. And I didn't want to record going in because I don't know these people, right? I don't know them. So I didn't want to walk in recording and make it seem like I'm, you know, trying to get content on their spot and stuff. Yeah, I'm just trying to make the good first impression, right? So I'm real about shit. You see how I am? I'm trying to be like straight up 100. You feel me? So I walk in, I stop the video, and I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm a podcaster. I was like, hey, what's up? My name is Stephanie. I'm a podcaster. I have a podcast. I showcase local artists. I showcase entrepreneurs, business owners. I'm from Jersey, but I'm also from New York, like both, basically. So, like, what's up? Like, I would love to have you on my platform, like, and just talk about like your shop or whatever. And he was like, yo, let me see your Instagram. So I show him my Instagram. He grabs my phone. He sees my Instagram. He's like, yo, you got some dope ass artists on there, yo. Like, what's up? Like, yo, like, I'm gonna follow them. Like, I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna follow them.
Right.
So we start having a good rapport and everything. And then I end up like, you know, obviously, like, supporting his business. I end up needing a couple things. And he was like, yo, nah, yo, like, that's you. Like, it's all good, though. Like, I fucks with your energy. You came in here with your shades, with that good energy, with that positive energy. You was talking about your brand, and you sold it to me. Like, I'm listening to you. I'm going to subscribe to your channel. I'm going to listen to your show. And you know what? If you need my shop for anything, hit me.
See? That door opened up just because you wasn't afraid to be who you are.
Right. And that's why sometimes we're so afraid of what other people think that we don't think what's like how to break that.
Right.
And I've learned to take that fear away from myself. Like, I'm not even going to lie to you. I had one of my friends, shout out to Queen Nevaeh. When I met Queen Nevaeh, one of my friends pushed me.
I saw that interview you did with her too.
Thank you. He pushed me, like, literally, like, pushed me. I was at a showcase and I was like, yo, I really want her on my show. I really want to interview her. Like, I really want, like, yo, bro, like, how, like, who you know, da, da, da. He was like, he's like, what the fuck? Why the fuck? He's like, yo, why the fuck anybody else? You go, you talk to her. And he just literally went like, literally, like, my back pushed me, like, right, like, out. Like,
and you just went from there.
And I just walked over because, I mean, at that point I was already, you know,
right.
Yeah. So I walked over and I introduced myself, and she was there with her manager. And I love my sis. Thank you so much, Queen. Like, yo, that's my fucking friend now. And she's like, yo, yeah, I'll be on your show. Like, sure. And then we just scheduled it.
And locked in.
That's what I'm saying. And it's when we remove I say all that to say, when we remove fear, our capabilities,
it's endless.
Stop being scared, people. Please.
But you know, it's funny you say that, because we always say that. A lot of people are scared to fail in front of people. And I don't feel like failing. I don't really feel like I'm failing in anything. I may be lacking. That's the difference.
Right.
Failing, I might be lacking. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna better myself so I can further myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Better myself to further myself. But no, failing, that's like lows.
Mm-hmm.
Or losing. A loss is it's a lesson.
Right.
So let's stop counting. You know, I'm learning.
Mm-hmm.
You get frustrated, I keep losing. Of course. But also I keep learning.
Exactly.
So when you win that championship, when you get to that next level, you're gonna appreciate it 20 more times as you would have did the first time. See, it's all about, goes back to what we talked about at the beginning. The timing.
Exactly.
It was not
Everything
supposed to
is time.
get that right then and there. Because you might would have blew the head off. Because you didn't have the understanding and knowledge.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's why it's important to just stay level-headed and always stay conscious. And that's one thing I noticed about you. With your platform, when you're posting, when you're talking, when you're going to speak your mind, it's like, listen, I'm going to stay cautious. Not even cautious. I'm going to stay conscious of what I'm doing.
Yes.
I'm going to stay aware of who I am.
Yes.
I'm not going to get lost. Because sometimes this game will suck you in to be somebody that you don't.
Exactly.
Now, you being a female, how was that? Because you know what I mean? You got some tough skin, champ. I ain't going to front.
Thank you.
But I know still, you're a female.
Yo.
You know what I mean? And you being a female, that's not going to put your guard down in this game.
Look.
Excuse me.
Being a female in this game, that's not about... Because...
Selling your soul to get to the next level.
It's not about selling my soul to get to the next level. I'm big on... I'm big on energy. Like, I'm big on, like, respect, too. Like, if I've had opportunities slip away just because I feel as though there's an extra thing that's required.
It's a motive behind
There's a motive, right? And
I'm like... A hidden agenda.
Right, a hidden agenda. Like, and I'm just like, no, it's not worth it. Look, I know being a female in the game is easy for some, but it's not easy for women that are not willing to succumb to certain things or sell their soul or do certain things.
Or just even change your image.
Or just, yeah.
Because, basically be who you not.
Right.
Let's just get to the reality. Be who you not.
Right. So
that's not who I am.
I guess the response to this is the best way it is to bring it back to who I am as a person. I've always been a tomboy. I'm girly. This is how I've always explained myself. The girliest tomboy you'll ever meet. I like to have my nails done. I know how to do my nails. I like kicks. I like to wear makeup and stuff, but I'm not
putting on something that's not comfortable.
I'm not going to.
I'm comfortable in sweats.
Like,
I'm comfortable.
Right.
I don't need to show my body. I don't need to be revealing.
Like, you'll never see me in like a G-string on Instagram type
right.
shit.
I'm not doing
what I'm
that.
saying? Like, I'm not doing none of that.
We're not doing
that. I don't feel
that's not who I am.
Right. It's not
that's
who I am.
That's not what I'm building my legacy on.
Right. And I don't feel as though I need that type of
audience.
To
get to the next level.
And to get to the next level, like, I know that sex sells, but I like to conserve myself to myself. So I feel like being a female in the game, it's not hard. It's a little tougher. It gets a little complicated.
It's a little tougher.
It gets a little tougher.
You don't know who's going to be genuine about where they're coming from.
Sometimes we're put in situations that seem genuine but are not genuine, and then we're forced to kind of fend for ourselves. And then when we're defending ourselves, it seems like we're being dramatic or combative, or we're just not trying to be cooperative. So I feel as though me moving in these spaces, I just stay true to myself. You feel me? Those who know me know, like, my boys are my boys. Like, if y'all seeing this right now, they know, like, they respect me. I fuck with them. Whatever they need, I'm there for them. Like, because they've shown me their proof. Like, I've been by myself with them 2, 3 a.m. They never tried nothing. Right. You feel me? I've been with them knocked out on the stoop, like, nothing. Like, you feel me? Like, never try to pass the line, never try to make me feel weird. Always kept that respect line. Always like, yo, I'm going to the store, you need something. You feel me? Always that brotherly energy. If once it crosses that line, I'm good. Like, I just feel like there's the men that I date. And personally, being a female in this space, I don't know about y'all other females, but I don't date men in this space. That's just my rule.
If you choose not to, that's what you choose not to do.
That's just my rule. So I just feel like, as being a female in this space, I don't even date men in these spaces. I don't even, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't like to mix business with pleasure. So I'm very,
has to be respected.
And right, so I'm very black and white. So if I'm pulling up on you to do some business shit, then we're doing some business shit. You feel me? There's no funny money business, and I don't need no extra shit going on. You feel me? So I feel like being a female in the space, it gets very hard for us. But I feel like only the strong survive. And I feel like if you're strong to your respect and you stand on 10 and you really show your true self, how you really are, the men, they're gonna respect you, yo.
Yeah, it's gonna
like
come.
That shit's
you
just
don't
gonna
have to fight for
like
it.
I don't even gotta fight for it because I've never changed.
Right. You stayed solid the whole time.
I never had to drop my panties to get nothing in this space. So
And you're not.
Right, and I'm not going to. So I just feel like I'm good. Like, I just feel like being a female in the space, like, I just want other women to know, like, y'all could exist in the space and stay true to yourself. You don't got to do nothing you don't want to do. And you don't have to feel like you have to be so out forward with your body to be seen. Because sometimes your biggest, like, your best weapon is your mind. It's not even your body. Like, it's your mind. Like, yo, that's all I gotta say on that. But
it's nothing wrong with that, because I needed you to touch on that for those that's coming up, that's watching you.
Yeah.
The young women that's, yo, I want to get in the game, but I want to hold it down. And that was very important. I had to put that in my notes to make sure I speak to you about that, because it's people watching you that you don't even know that's watching you.
You know what's crazy? I got a
From
lot
the
of
younger generation.
It's kind of crazy. I got a lot. Now that you say that, let me pick it. I don't mean to like change it, but on my birthday, I usually post on my personal page. Like, I have a personal page that I post on, like, for my friends and family. Like, I usually post there for my birthday. But this year, I was like, nah, I'm posting on Sabrosa Podcast. I actually deleted my personal page because I want my social media, I want my family, everybody to be there. I want everybody to be.
See.
Yeah, so I want everybody to be on the same place. So when I posted on my birthday, I did get a couple direct messages from younger people. It was very interesting. I got one message and it said, yo, happy birthday, Queen. Thank you so much for inspiring the youth and putting on for the youth. You inspire us every single day. You don't even know. Like, you got everybody looking at you. You got homegirls of mine wanting to start a podcast. You got people that I know, like, really grinding and doing their thing and putting up on people and trying to do interviews and stuff. Like, you don't know what you're starting in the area. And it's like, when I saw that message, like, I was in the brunch spot, talking to DJ. Like, I remember I was late. I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, I stopped. I sat down and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like, just inspiring one mind, like, that's enough for me. Like, I'm humble.
But if you 7 days in a week, so if you inspire 7, at least 5 I give myself 4 out of 7.
And then I've gotten direct messages from my nephew. My nephew's in high school right now. And he sent me the Instagram DMs like, yo, I'm in school, yo. And he sent me my stickers on his classmates' book bags, computers, lockers. How is my stickers in the high school?
Yo, hold up. Time out. We gotta.
That's crazy, right?
That's crazy. But that's beyond crazy, because I was going to ask you something about that.
Yeah, my stickers are in the high. Yeah.
I would know. Time out. This shit is fucked up.
That shit is crazy.
I was going to ask you about why. When are you going to put some stickers out? Because I've been thinking about doing stickers, and you telling me right here that you had stickers out.
Bro, get stickers.
Yo, I'm saying this because
I'm gonna give you all the info to get
please,
stickers. I got you.
because I saw somebody on Instagram, a young lady, shout out to her. I forgot her name. I'm sorry.
I could also plug you with one of my friends that does stickers too.
I need some stickers.
I got you.
Because I saw her running around New York City, and I'm sorry I forgot your name because I really want to shout you out. And I'm like, yo, damn, I come from this sticker era. Like,
yes, put the stickers out. I want some stickers for your podcast so I could put them out too.
Right. So and then
I'll give you some.
Right.
That's
so
what we
that's
do.
crazy. So you already had
Come on now.
I'm playing the
Great
background.
mind thinks alike.
Right, but you already was in the building with it. And I just kind of like, wow, the sticker game. I didn't think about that.
Sticker game. I'm telling you.
Now it goes back to another question I want to ask you because you never thought about putting your logo on a T-shirt, like
yes, I definitely want
shit, right?
Yeah, I definitely want to put it on a T-shirt. But this is the thing: the reason why I haven't put out T-shirts is because I feel like everybody puts out T-shirts. They just slap it on a T-shirt. I want to put thought into my blank, my threading, my embroidery, my everything, my tag, my everything. So it's a whole project. I don't want to just grab this, print it, sell it. It's a whole, because I'm a fashionista. Hello, guys. Hello. So I haven't put out merch because I'm putting it out, God willing, this summer, because I already had a meeting on that. Exclusive. I got an exclusive here. I already got little samples going on and shit. But I don't want to just put out a shirt with my face, with my logo on it. I want to put out a fashion, like something that could be worn. Right, something that could be worn if you're going to the brunch spot or if you're going to ShopRite or if you're going to the motherfucking wedding. Like, you could wear that Sabrosa Podcast t-shirt. You heard? That's what the fuck we on, okay?
Yo, I respect it. I love the energy. I definitely respect the energy. Yo, I play a name game, word game on here. And, I definitely gotta.
I already know.
I gotta play with you. So I got a few words and I'm gonna throw at you, and I just want to hear your response.
Okay.
Podcasting.
Podcasting is a great way to express yourself, find a platform for yourself, and it's a great way to zoom in on a specific topic and really deep dive into said subject. And, it's an opportunity to connect with other people. It's an opportunity to get stories out there. It's another form of journalism. And it is accessible to anyone from all mobile devices. And podcasting is definitely very educational, and it has changed some people's lives.
Facts. I got another word for you. Stephanie.
Okay, Stephanie is a overthinker, a hard worker. She's definitely a child at heart, but very wise for her age. Nurturing, loving, giving, impatient, but patient at the same time for what is necessary to be patient for. Definitely big on loyalty. I'm big on helping people. I love to assist people. I don't know. There's something inside me that I love to help other people. Like, it's like something that I love to do.
That's what the podcast is built for. We therapists on the low.
I feel like we're
a therapist. I said,
yeah,
I'm not a fucking therapist.
Right. I feel like
said, yo, bro, you're a therapist.
Yeah, we did.
You share insight with another person, give them an idea, and they take that and run with it. I'm like, okay.
And Stephanie is a one of 8 children.
Okay.
An aunt, a daughter, and just a person that has a lot of dreams. A lot of dreams that have started to be fulfilled.
Okay.
And a very wicked past. I've been through a lot of things in life, but I don't let those things make me bitter or angry or a bad person. I just use it as a motivation to...
Your past is not your future.
Exactly. I just use it as a motivation. And like I said in my first podcast ever, I aspire to inspire other people to get out of their shell and really explore who they really are. Like, who are you when you take off the mask for society? Who are you when you're going to sleep? Who are you when you're butt ass naked in the shower? Who are you when you don't have any phones around you? You don't have any type of notoriety. You don't have any money in your bank account. Who are you?
A lot of people need to hear that just now. You realize that, right? Because we live in a society where, we have identity crisis.
And people throw around the word mental health like it's just thrown around.
But mental health been here, though.
It's been here. It's been...
Everybody's dealing with mental health. Everybody
on this earth has something going on. Everybody has a problem. Everybody has issues. Everybody has things that they go through in life. But at the end of the day, we have to know how to solve our own problems.
Or be willing enough to learn and listen.
And listen and learn and obtain knowledge and perspective.
It's not always our way.
It's not always our way.
And we block our blessings a lot of times trying to do things our way instead of sitting back listening to the time and place when it's supposed to be done.
That's true.
Our way is not always the way.
It's not always the way.
Just because it got you past that situation doesn't mean it's going to get you past this situation.
It's true.
I got one more. The Sabrosa Podcast. That's the last one.
Oh, man. The Sabrosa Podcast.
She's not Stephanie.
The Sabrosa Podcast
is your alter ego.
It's my alter ego. It's my
Bruce
baby.
Wayne. It's your Clark Kent.
It's my child. I don't have any physical children that I birthed.
With shit.
But I have a child that I birthed, and it's inspiration, it's perspective, it's storytelling, it's a power, it's a force to be reckoned with. It's the power of inspiration. It's people coming together and sharing perspectives to share, to put out to the universe. It's storytelling.
But it's you bringing these people together.
Right.
But it's you bringing them together, though, champ.
It's crazy.
You're orchestrating that.
It's crazy because
you're the coach.
I've been robbed of my identity several times. People have tried to downplay what the Sabrosa Podcast really is. That's why my new thing is Big Sabrosa, not the little one.
But they're going to do that when you're great.
Because people be trying to downplay the Sabrosa Podcast, and I've seen people that have learned from me propel past me. But you know what? I don't care because I'm not in the Sabrosa Podcast is not in competition with nobody. We're in own lane, yo. Like, I'm dead trying to change the fucking narrative, bro. Like, I'm dead trying to put on the underdog, like things that are not usually your normal podcasting. It's not your normal conversations. Like, you usually see most people that interview in the outside of the Sabrosa Podcast, they look for clickbaity type questions. They look for, you know what I'm saying? Like, things that they know that they're going to get traction on. And I don't care about none of that. I just care about their story. And I feel like the Sabrosa Podcast is a safe space. It's definitely a safe space. I'm definitely not in the business of...
It's a launching pad.
And it's a launching pad.
Up and coming artists.
And it's an underground hub. To me, it's an underground hub. I have so many type of contacts, so many people that support the show, so many talented artists that have came on the show and believed in my show and just believed in my vision in general.
They believed in you.
And it's just like...
Because your brand...
I'm so grateful.
Your brand carries them to believe in you, bro. It carries, you know what I'm saying? And I realized that somebody told me that, they said, yo, for you to get a guest, that means the guest believes in you.
I definitely believe in you. And that's why I'm here.
And I appreciate that. And that's why you have, you know what I'm saying, your history, your legacy. You know what I mean? This is your catalog. This is your catalog right here. You know what I mean? This is your catalog right here.
That's crazy that I'm on the big screen, y'all.
You know,
shout out to Roundtable for having me on the big screen. Let's go.
This is your catalog right here. And this is why I brought you here, because this what people always ask me, what do you get out of doing all this? And I tell them all the time, it's for the opportunity to bring, you know, give somebody their flowers, but to also make them happy. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Like, and just the fact that, like, we sat here and we had this conversation, I'm going to say it on the record. More podcasters, more people in the spaces, more people that do the same exact work needs to sit down and needs to chop it up. And it's okay, because we're all in this, like, we all have a responsibility and we could grow better together than apart.
We're in this together, though.
We are in this together.
I'm not in competition with you. I don't look at you as, yo, I got to be better than her. I got to look at it as I got to continue to keep working with her.
Me neither.
And I have to continue to keep learning from her.
Me neither. But you'll be surprised how many people look at us and they don't think like that.
Well, you know what? I don't really give a fuck about them. You know what I'm saying? And truthfully, I never really cared about all that.
Me neither.
You know what I mean? I run with the winners. You know what
reality
I mean?
is reality, though.
But you know what? If you focus on reality, you die in reality.
I don't die in reality.
I mean? A lot of people are so caught up in
you know, I'm Sabrosa the blogger. I know everything that's going on.
Exactly. Yo, listen, man. I got my girl with me, man. This thing can go on for hours and hours because it's just energy and it's love. But thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
I thank you.
Thank you.
Let the culture know where they can find you at, your Instagram, where they can look up the shows.
All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Before I go, I just want to say one last thing. Make sure you put your foot on the gas. Don't stop. All gas, no brakes. Anything you want to do in this life, don't let nobody stop you, because you could do anything you want to do. And any idea you have in your head you're able to make it into a material thing that you can obtain. You just have to not stop until you get it. You can find me on the Sabrosa Podcast. You already know Instagram, the Sabrosa Podcast, TikTok, the Sabrosa Podcast. Website is under construction. You already know what time it is. We got the foot on the gas. Your underground hub. We got a whole new season coming up for y'all. And I'm here at the Roundtable Talk alongside Shamik. Shout out to the team. Shout out to this. And make sure that anytime y'all feel doubted, don't feel doubted. You got this.
Yo, the queen has spoken. The voice of the culture. See you on the next one. Love.
Peace.
That's it, baby.